Bloop! Focus here. In this video, we'll be talking about Splatsville, also known as the City of Chaos, alongside new stores, new abilities, new features, and more. I am very excited for this game to come out, and if you are too and want to see more Splatoon 3 content, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button to know when I upload. Now, let's get into it. So as we get our first look into Splatsville, we see a lot of signs everywhere. I don't think they're all stores because not all the signs have an entrance, so some might just be for design. Some of the new stores could be for gear like hats, tops, shoes, and accessories. I wonder what brands they may bring back from the previous Splatoons. Some of my favorites that I'm hoping come back are Firefin, Rockenberg, Tintatic, and of course, Tony Kensa. Firefin had a nice face mask, Rockenberg has some stylish shades, Tintatic had amazing shoes, and honestly, I just love the entire Tony Kensa collection. In this scene, we can hear what sounds like a kitchen, which makes me think we can access it to buy food for our Inkling. This store could act as an alternative to Krusty Sean's Crust Bucket food truck in Splatoon 2, giving the same bonuses like boosting the amount of money or experience earned from multiplayer matches, but as new food items. The food items could be inspired by French dishes like a French onion soup or a salmon and parchment, to name a few. You can also see a shop to the side with scooters outside of it. I hope they allow the player to use the scooters to traverse through the city and maybe even implement a racing minigame you can play with your friends. The game could use a Mario Kart style by having the player choose an Inkling or Octoling as their character and selecting a weapon to sabotage your opponents to give yourself the upper hand. For example, using your splatter shot to ink the ground beside you to make your opponent lose control, or possibly hitting them directly to knock them off their scooter, or allowing the player to use an ink brush as a melee weapon to knock away opponents who make it close to you, using the ink roller to spread ink in front of you in case you are behind to slow down the lead. The possibilities are endless. They could also have items you can pick up throughout the course, which can be different subs or specials you can use to blast away the threats. We can also see some neon signs that may be accessible to the player. I think the neon sign that looks like a squid with a hat on its head is a new hat store, with the vendor being a squid, replacing Flo and Crayman as the Splatoon 2 hat vendors. The other neon sign that is orange, I'm not quite sure what animal that is, could be a new minigame. My thoughts are that it will be another rhythm game like Squid Beats 2 because the sign looks as though the character is dancing, so maybe a rhythm game where the player hits the corresponding button to make their Inkling strike a dance pose. In this cut, we see a statue gate that leads to the food store we mentioned earlier. I think this because this sign looks like the same sign we saw in a previous cut. There are some stickers on this sign to the right. I'm not sure exactly what those might indicate, but my guess is another new brand for gear, or maybe a new ability for your weapons. Based on the sticker's design, I think the ability's effect could be when you hit an enemy, their run speed and swim speed is reduced by a percentage. With all the railways we can see above us in Splatsville, I'm wondering if there will be other locations we could travel to inside or outside Splatsville. I think the train may be accessible the same as how the Octo expansion's train is used to bring you from mission to mission. I think that the train may bring you to the other ends of the shopping district or possibly even outside the city. The train could also be used as a way to access the story mode. I think this because in this shot we can see the railway leaving the shopping district and heading to another part of the city, which may be where the story continues. Pearl and Marina have not been shown at all. It could be possible that Marina may be the antagonist of this game, seeing how Pearl won the final Splatfest, or maybe they just aren't together anymore. With Marina going her own way, starting her own city with order and laws that we could possibly end up visiting at some time through the story, something similar happened to Callie when Marie won Splatoon's final Splatfest. In the Squid Sister stories, which I'll leave a link to in the description below, it talks about Callie and Marie after the final Splatfest and how the two began to be more busy with their own things. Callie making guest appearances on a variety of shows, and Marie receiving critical praise for her recordings and making guest appearances on music shows, as well as performing live concerts solo. It is implied that Callie may have felt hurt or disturbed, but not clear as to what she may be disturbed about. In Splatoon 2, we see that Callie has joined DJ Octavio as the final boss, which could possibly be the result of Callie's feelings. So something like this happening to Marina wouldn't be too unusual. That'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, and if you want to see more Splatoon 3 content, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button to know when I upload. Thank you all so much for watching, stay focused!